Imagine opening your phone for just a few minutes. You scroll through photos with people who have perfect skin and perfect bodies. At first, it's entertaining, but after a while, you start noticing something different. You look at the screen and then you look at yourself. Suddenly, the mirror feels like a comparison chart that you never signed up for. What started as a harmless scroll becomes a thought in your mind that grows bigger to affect your health and your self confidence. Today, I want to talk about how social media is quietly shaping the way we see our own bodies and why that matters. That is why most people think that filters promise confidence. But what if they're silently shrinking it? You see, body image is defined as a person's perceptions, thoughts, and feelings about their body. It's not just what you see in the mirror, it's about how you feel about what you see. And now that mirror is digital. A survey found that 55% of 13 to 17-year-olds say they always use filters before posting a photo. Always. That means that more than half of teens rarely show their unedited face online. Now, this is the darker side of augmented reality. When a filtered version of you becomes the standard, your real face can start to feel like the flaw. And the more we adjust, smooth, and reshape ourselves on screen, the more our confidence becomes attached, not to who we actually are, but to who we can digitally create. In a UK survey by Be Real, they found that 79% of teenagers said that how they look is important to them, and more than half say they often worry about their appearance. That's not insecurity. That's a generation under pressure. And behind those numbers are real voices. Like one young person stated, quote, I've been unhappy with my body. It affects my confidence. I've even found myself becoming jealous, sensitive, and even argumentative towards others. That's not vanity. That's mental struggle. And you also might be wondering how teens actually change their body image. And it's brutal. They go through disordered eating and body dysmorphia. The screen doesn't just show images, it quietly reshapes expectations. And when this becomes more common at 11 years old, we are no longer talking about a trend. This becomes a social problem. When we normalize inspiration, we are not just promoting an aesthetic, we are normalizing illness. Eating disorders can include anorexia or bulimia nervosa, and even binge eating disorder. These are not phrases nor diets. They are serious mental health conditions that can cause heart problems, organ failure, severe depression, and even death. Most conditions even require professional recovery treatment. Then there's filter dysmorphia. One study by PSY Post found that people who applied slimming beauty filters to their own images experienced more negative body image outcomes and more body dysmorphic thoughts than those who did not use filters. In other words, editing your face doesn't just change the photo, it changes how you see yourself. Then, how do we solve this problem? First, we reduce exposure. Studies consistently show that the more time teens spend on social media, the higher the risk of body dissatisfaction and disordered behaviors. So we start simple. For example, set a timer, create daily limits, replace scrolling with something physical, like daily walking, sports, time with friends, and real conversations. Confidence grows in real life, not in curated feeds. And second, platforms must take responsibility. Beauty altering filters should not be easily handed to minors. If we regulate alcohol and cigarettes for young people, why are we freely handing them digital tools that digitally reshape their faces and bodies? Prevention must start at the design level. So at the end of the day, solving this problem isn't just about deleting social media entirely. It's about reclaiming control over our time, our exposure, and our self-worth. Imagine a generation of younger girls who can confidently say, I'm enough just the way I am. Not because a filter told them so, not because a post got enough likes, but because they genuinely believe it through self acceptance. And that shift also changes how we approach our own bodies. We move from working out to look good to working out to feel good. Exercise becomes about strength, health, and energy. Not punishment, not comparison, not posting filtered photos for approval. When fitness is about well being instead of validation, it builds confidence rather than pressure. Filters don't promise confidence. The inspiration never applies perfection. And social media won't promise connection. We've seen the numbers, we've heard the stories. 11-year-olds worry about their bodies. Teens won't post a photo without editing it. Rising eating disorders. This is not harmless growing. This is quiet conditioning. But more strength, more health, and more self worth. Because the goal was never to become perfect. The goal was to become comfortable in the one body you were never meant to Photoshop. Thank you.